We'll do it cold. Hello, everybody.
Oh, we're on?
Well, yeah, technically we're on.
All right. Well, we're ready to go.
But we have to do the intro first.
Oh, right.
So we'll be right back after this.
It's time to start your engines and be part of the conversation. You can always ask the experts, Raffi and Dan Rosenberg, because it's now time for Clutch Radio. The show starts now.
Hey, look at us. We are live in the Saab.
Yes, we are. Saab
9.5.
Yeah.
Linear.
Very important.
And it's a station wagon.
And as you can hear, Dan is
Shifting.
It
is a manual. And this is actually a pretty rare car.
Very rare.
Because there are only, in 2002, in the Saab 9.5 linear wagon, they only made 353 station wagons with a stick shift.
Which is very rare. And the manual in this car is a perfect match for the size, weight, and dimensions of this car. Because if you like driving stick shift, which who doesn't, it's a great car. It's super nimble. And I'm really surprised, Dan, at how nicely this car drives. We're doing 50 miles an hour and smooth, quiet, which is fantastic for a car of this age. How many miles on this car?
This
Dan?
car has 124,700 miles.
Barely broken in for a Saab.
Yes.
There you go.
And the if you look behind us, it looks like there's somebody hiding in the trunk area. But that is actually 4 winter tires that came with this car.
So you get the car and 4 winter tires.
Right. This car is for sale. We'll be on the Hemmings Auto Auction, I believe on the 9th it's supposed to launch.
And when we get out at the car wash, we can do a walk around.
Yes.
And show people what the car looks like. It's in great shape. Silver with, would you call this gray or black interior?
Yeah, we'll go black.
Okay, black interior. There you go.
Leather,
yes.
But yeah, I mean, there's so much to like about this car. I never liked Saabs really before. I don't know if I ever drove a Saab before.
They're very different. They're
yes, there's a lot of quirkiness to it.
Yeah, there is some quirkiness. What I like, and we'll have to point this out, the ignition is in the center here, down in between. So you get in the car and you start the car here in the center, as opposed to on the column on the steering wheel, which is more typical to most automobiles.
Now, design-wise, why do you think they did that?
I have no idea.
Oh, good.
Not a
I
clue.
thought you'd have an idea.
I could speculate, but it would be pure speculation.
And now stick shifts have had a bad time the past 20 years.
Yes, they have.
Since this car came out. It was rare in 2002, and I would say now it's even more rare.
Well, I don't know that there's a company that's manufacturing manual transmission cars as an option, just in general, because most cars are either automatic transmission, or if you have an electric car, well, there's really no need for a transmission necessarily. So there are much fewer manual transmission cars being manufactured today. So they become a bit of a rarity. And in the collector world, they become highly desirable in Ferraris, Aston Martins, Porsches. If you have a manual transmission car, a manual 5-6-speed transmission car, you're going to have to pay anywhere from 40 to 70% more for that car than you would, say, a PDK or a semi-automatic or a selectable or a paddle shift type on the steering column. So the manual transmission has become something of a sought-after option or feature on particularly sports cars.
And like the Audi R8,
Yeah.
the difference between the 6-speed and the automatic is, I mean, that one you just sold recently
Yes.
through Bring a Truck, that would have maybe had $50,000 more value if it was a stick
Absolutely.
shift.
Another 50%, 50 to 60% more. An Audi R8 with the V10, nice options, good condition, low miles, be about $100,000 to $110,000. And if it's a manual transmission car, you're going to expect to spend around $150,000 to $170,000 just because of that one option. And it was rare even then.
Wow.
Yeah.
We have some comments. I don't know if you can read that or not.
It says here, let's see. The main reason is safety. In a collision, the key can be jammed into the knee or other parts of the body if it's on the dashboard or steering column. By putting it on the center console between the seats, you avoid that issue. Well, thank you, Ron Erickson. Oh, there we go. Fabulous.
So why doesn't everybody do it then?
Well, Saab is well known for being safety-minded. They spent a lot of time in engineering development to make their cars as safe as they can be. So Ron's comment is pretty consistent with that. Both Saab and Volvo have done a great job with safety on their cars. So that's the reason why, from a safety perspective, that's an aspect that would not be forced up on the driver in heavy impact. So there you go. Thank you, Ron.
Yeah, that's a great reason. But again, you would think that obviously American car brands are like, well, no, we have to keep it where it always is because we can't change things.
Right.
Whereas the Swedish, my regular car, the car we last drove in, the Polestar, also Swedish designed. No key anywhere. There's not even a button to start the car.
Yeah, and a lot of those types of systems and things are changing dramatically in contemporary cars. I don't know if you've seen the new Tesla. There's half a steering wheel in the new Tesla. And basically what they're doing is they're trying to wean people off of having that thing in front of you.
But then you can't like put your hand on top and do the lean.
That's true, but you can't put your arm out the window anymore either on a regular car because
I know it's like up
the
here.
window sill is so high.
I don't know why my shoulder hurts. Doc, it only hurts when I do this. Oh, don't do that.
So car design is changing dramatically, not just because of the electric powertrain, but because safety, restraints, exterior impact zones have changed dramatically. This is why cars are getting taller. The front bumper and the grille used to be about this high. Now they're much taller. And the reason why is they need to have more frontal area protection. Wheels and tires are taller. The door line is taller because they need to improve the side impact so that you're not hit. If you're hit hard on the side, it does not give you excessive damage to the shoulder and midsection of your body. So the beams, as you can see on this car, this is an older design, the window line is much lower.
Yes.
So if you get side impact here, there's more likelihood that, I don't know if you can see this when I do it, that you hit here and then your head goes here and you'll get a head concussion from hitting the glass or hitting the B post, which is problematic. But in other cars that have a taller door line, the impact gets more absorbed and you're less likely to have that impact. Plus, you have the side curtains built in, the side airbags as well.
And my car, look at this guy. He's going to sit here so I can't go in. And what's there to decide?
I don't know, but
Let's go.
It's a car wash. You just drive through.
Yes, as we always do, we take the car to the car wash first.
Yes.
Now, this car has a couple of quirks.
Oh, this is going to be good.
So the passenger door, you can't open from the inside. You couldn't open it at all when we got this car. And I actually spent a lot of time and was able to fix it. And you can get it from the outside. So Raffi will actually have to roll his window down and do the reach out. The other issue is, welcome to our car wash. Use the company card here. Make sure we keep track of. Are you still with I'm still with you.
He's using the company card, the Clutch Radio company card.
I'm not going to get the upgrade.
No upgrade this time.
I'm not going to do the ceramic upgrade on this one.
I think that's probably a good.
Just because it's silver.
That's a good call. And ceramic, for those of you listening, the ceramic coating helps to protect the finish of the vehicle. Ceramic's actually pretty good to have on darker colored cars. It does give your car a little bit more protection.
Let's make sure all the windows are up.
Yep, windows are up. You want to tuck the mirrors in, or
no, okay. Not on this car.
All right.
This mirror also does some weird stuff.
We're gonna lose the mirror.
Last time I ran through the car wash, we lost the windshield wiper. Now they do
always something.
Yes, they do get the blue tape, and they cover the rear windshield wiper.
Okay, so we're in good shape there.
Good shape there.
Now let's see.
Now, if the tail light, this is the other issue. We have a tail light that
It could go
needs to be
flying off.
repaired, and I'm in the middle of repairing it. So there's a slight chance. Thank you. There's a slight chance that the passenger side tail light will get ripped off.
Ah.
So Raffi will have to, when we're done, roll down the window,
Roll down the window.
reach out,
Reach
open the
out.
door, and check it real quick. But we'll do that. We'll do a walk around. Maybe I'll just I'll get out of the car and open your door for you.
There you go. That's
If you don't want to, because if you lower the window, once you raise it, the window is dirt is all wet again.
Well, here we go. Well, we get the flashing lights. So we're getting foamed right now.
Are we moving? Oh yeah,
We are
we're
moving.
moving for a second. So yeah, we're at Brown Bear, not a sponsor, but they're the closest one. And it's where I take my cars all the time. And this does a really good job.
They do. They do a great job with the car wash. And these are no longer, they used to have these as brushes. These are no longer brushes. They're very, very soft, microfiber. They do a great job. They don't damage the paint, which is nice. I see that your mirror is in good shape, hasn't folded in.
Yeah, something will happen to it.
And no leaks. Sunroof isn't
Yes,
leaking.
this car does not leak. Cadillac Alante, which by the way is at its new home in Arizona already. It did with the roof. I had to hold a towel right here in the corner.
Ah, so it had a corner leak.
It had a little bit of a corner, but not when it rained. Only really when this high pressure air was blowing on, it would blow the water in. So as soon as the car wash is over.
Now, have you been through the car wash with us?
Yes, when we took it to get detailed, the windshield wiper broke off, remember?
Yes.
So this is the second car wash of this one.
And that mirror is a little loose. I saw it.
That mirror does have a little issue, but it goes right back into place.
All right, and then we're going to get the high-speed air,
Yes, here comes the big air.
the hurricane
It's
air.
going to get a little loud. You may not be able to hear us the entire time. Adam does like our Saab stories.
Ah, very nice. Look at the wiper flapping around
I know.
there. Which makes you wonder, because that must be 150-mile-an-hour wind.
Yeah, we're going through a tornado. We're in Category 4.
Category 4.
No one's ever heard of Category 5.
No?
Never heard of that before. So yeah, then once we get out of here, we're going to put it back in gear here.
And we'll get
over
out.
to the vacuum area,
There you go.
and we'll do a little bit of a walk around of the car.
And again, super quiet. Clutch engages really well. This is nice. Nice
This is
car.
not a bad car.
To be a great car for somebody who wants something unique. And
One out of 350. Remember, don't try to.
I will not open that door.
All right, so I will take our camera here,
All right.
and I will get out of the car. Oh, it's locked. I was like, oh no, this one broke. Oh, here it is.
There you go. Now you're unlocked, and I'm not getting out.
There we go. Come on. There we go. All right. So I will open the door for Raffi. Make sure this is. Now here's an interesting thing, real quick.
Here's the.
In this car, if you want to take the key out, like let's turn the car off. I can't take the key out unless I put the car in reverse. Then
There
I
you
can
go.
take the key out.
It's like another safety feature.
Yes, the car has to be in reverse, and a lot of people don't know that. And what they end up doing is they end up. Oh, yep, it's gone. Yep, it's gone.
Oh, we lost it.
Yep.
Oh my God.
Oh boy,
Do you suppose it's in there somewhere?
it's in there.
You know, it doesn't look bad without it.
I know.
But there you go.
So what do you think? You want to go walk over and ask?
Yeah, we should.
All right. So let's do a walk around of the car. Other than that part.
Now, can I close it?
Yeah, might as well close it. All right, so here's the car. It's a nice silver. And it's got typical wear and tear,
Not much.
but the Saab logo, I mean, it's kind of airplane-ish because they started making airplanes.
It's in good shape. You know, it doesn't have any major damage.
It does have brand new tires,
Brand new
and brand new
tires, that's
brakes.
good. And
Yeah.
pretty soon it's going to have a brand new taillight.
Yes, looks like I might have to. That should glue right back on. So that's what I was worried about. Is I was trying to repair it here, but it all came off the whole way around.
It should glue back on if it's still in one piece.
I bet you it is, unless somebody drove over it.
We're gonna have to go get
Yeah,
it.
we're gonna go in and ask. Do we want to take this with us, or do you want to just go ask?
No, we should take it with us. We
Okay.
can ask.
We're gonna go ask. Sorry about this.
Well, that's okay. You know, this is it's all part of the show.
Yeah.
And this is what happens. Sometimes you take your car to a car wash and there can be damage. You can lose parts, pieces, and this is part of what needs to be done. Hopefully it's off to the side.
Yeah. We lost a piece of our tail light. So I don't know if we can do it. It'll be on that side. So we'll see what happens here.
So it's just like at the amusement ride where they might have to stop the ride and get out and see if they can find it.
Yeah, I wonder what he's going to do.
It doesn't look like he's doing anything at this point.
What if we can just look? Let's take a look inside here.
Can we see it in there? It probably got flipped out somewhere. Where is the tail light? I don't see it anywhere.
Huh.
I don't see it.
Oh, there it is. And
Yep,
it's in
there
one
it is.
piece.
Okay. No, I see another piece over there.
No, that's different. That's
Okay.
somebody else's tail light. All right. Well, this is changing things a little bit.
Well,
And he's still going through.
Well, maybe we tell him we can see it.
Yeah.
It's in the middle. Maybe he doesn't want to stop the progress.
This guy doesn't know how to put his car in neutral.
So that's unusual.
It's hard to put them in neutral.
Yeah, it is. I wonder if she could get our tail light for us.
While we're there, we go.
What's going on with the car? Thank you.
You just see it. It's over in the middle on that side.
Yeah, it's right against the wall. All right, so I think it looks like they're going to try to fix this. They're probably wondering why we're holding our camera or our phone like this.
Well, that's okay.
We didn't tell them that we're,
Doing a live show.
yeah.
You know, while we're here, it's probably interesting to think about how many cars go through here on a daily basis. How many do you think they do?
Well, let's see. There's probably been 7 since we've gone through.
Yeah, so let's call that 7 cars in 10 minutes. So you think they do a car every minute?
That's possible.
That is a lot of cars. But even if they did a car every 10 minutes, that's 6 an hour.
Oh, there he is.
Oh, you get it? That's going to be like Frogger. You're going to go across.
I don't know if you can see him.
He's trying to get the pass there.
So the thing about this car wash is that he's actually in there while it's running. Like the water doesn't spew out like a normal car wash. They can walk on the sides here.
Yeah.
You know what I love is when you see like a really dirty car before and then
And
and then after. I just for some reason I love that. All right, let's see it. Watch it.
I do like a clean car.
We do have some Frogger action happening here.
Yes. He's gonna bolt across, grab our tail light, and return it. I think he's got a little tail light picker too in his hand. There he goes, and he has recovered it. It looks like it's a
Yay! All right.
We did it.
You know, you can't plan this stuff. I had a feeling this might happen.
And it's hopefully not very scratched.
We should be able to glue it back on. Oh, look how clean it is.
It's even clean.
Thank you.
So we did lose the edge.
No, I think that was there.
You think so?
That looks pretty solid. That doesn't look like it's broken. Feel it. Well, let's look at the other one.
Well, we'll see.
All right, so we might, and I have the glue at home, the epoxy.
It's the other half of it there. Here, just so you can
Oh.
see.
Yeah, we did lose a piece.
I don't think this is complete, but
Well, I'll be ordering something on eBay today.
yep, we'll have to get a new one of these. And
Oh,
do you
well.
get the whole cluster?
I hope I can just get that, but if not, I'll get the whole cluster.
Yeah, they shouldn't be too expensive.
We might do next week's episode live from a junkyard.
There you go.
That might be a thing. Go out to Shelton. All right.
Broken.
Yeah. Oh well.
Sometimes.
I mean, another piece is in there.
Yeah, but you couldn't glue it back on.
Oh yeah. All right. Well,
We'll keep it as
memento.
Yeah.
And if you want, maybe we'll do a giveaway,
There you go.
or we'll build a homoculator out of that.
There you go.
All right. Well, now hopefully we don't get a ticket for broken taillight.
Well, you should be okay.
Yeah, because the taillight works. All right. Well, I guess get back in and we'll
Keep going.
continue the show. All right, so we're back in the car.
There we go.
We probably should not have run it through the car wash.
Well, it is what it is. This is how you learn.
Yeah, I guess so. So we will now drive back towards the island. Actually, we'll go up that way a little ways. Get a little drive in too.
Yeah, we can go
Got to
through,
exercise the car a little.
go through Polsvo, and we'll look out for subject matter for our old school.
Oh,
I did see one, which I think might work for old school because it'll be a lot of fun, and we can. Oh, look! I just noticed there's an old school Airstream trailer. That's
yeah. And the truck actually says Airstream.
yeah.
Oh, these guys let me go. Thank you. Wow, they're
Well,
nice
that's a
people.
surprise.
Thank you very much. How many times did you do the thank you wave? Twice, right?
Twice. Yeah, you
Once
do
when they
one-
do it, and
right.
once after the fact.
Exactly. Yeah, the thank you wave is important, and you want to make sure when you do it that the hand is very broad. 'Cause
Right.
It can be
You
misunderstood.
go
if
this way, they
just
might
see
think it's
this.
your finger.
Yes, and that can be problematic. Now we're in the carpool lane because we're allowed to be.
But it's also Monday through Friday.
Oh, okay.
So today is Saturday, right? Yeah, it's clutch radio.
Clutch radio Saturday.
Uh,
Oh, we can do gas prices. Wow, $3.46.
346 for unleaded. That's at Safeway.
That's Safeway, which is
So if you
pretty
have your card-
inexpensive.
You save even more.
Yeah, and gas seems to have leveled out a little bit and coming down in some areas. I paid $3.86 a couple of weeks ago, but I think it's come down since then.
Now, you obviously know how to drive a stick shift.
I do.
The first car you drove, was it a stick or an automatic?
The very first car I drove that I learned on was a 1952 Crossley, and it was a 3-speed manual.
Oh, so you started right off the bat
I
then.
started out on the manual transmission, and it was not easy to coordinate the feet, the moving of the feet to get the that sweet spot in between. And once I figured out how it worked and got good at it, I was amazed at how different every other manual transmission car was, because the clutch is different, the engagement is different, the gear shift lever is different, so you got to be a little flexible. It was a non-synchromesh transmission as well. Now modern gearboxes have synchromesh in their in the shifting mechanism, so the mechanism for shifting has a synchronizer, so you don't have to worry about matching the revs to the engine and getting it exactly in that spot. So it's a lot easier to drive a synchromesh manual transmission than a non-synchro manual transmission, and that makes a big difference in terms of I noticed also that when you shift, you do the neutral back forth and then engage into that shows me that whoever taught you how to drive paid attention to the engagement part of the transmission. You don't have to do that with a synchro mesh transmission, but you probably learned on cars that had synchronous transmission, and that makes a difference when you do that. You loosen it, put it in neutral. Also, when you're shifting, you are in the first or second gear, you shift, you pause in neutral, and then go into the next gear. That's for older gearboxes. You don't necessarily have to do that with new gearboxes that have full synchronous transmission.
I will tell my story. Okay, that window is not wet. This might be the first car I've ever been in that you come out of a car wash. Like, I'll avoid a drive-through for an hour after I wash my car because I don't want to roll my window down.
Yeah, because you get those water streaks.
And I'm like, come on, there has to be a car company that can invent that. And apparently Saab did, and they're now out of business. So it's the car wash lobbyists, the cartel.
Yeah, there you go.
That have made it so that's why Saab doesn't exist, because they cured that problem.
They didn't want anybody to have to compete with that. Now, I'm looking at some of the comments. I see greetings from Livermore, California, from Robert Moss. How you doing, Bob? Hope everything's going well in Livermore. It's very warm down there, and you guys are probably getting a little bit of smoke from the fires. Adam also is asking, could either of you see if Amazon is going into the car industry? Oh, that's a distinct possibility. You know, we keep hearing about the Apple iCar. I don't think Apple's going to be in the car business, not making cars, but I think they're very interested in supplying the operating, the infrastructure and the interface for automobiles in the future.
Well, my car is all Android based, the Polestar. So you could call it a Google car, because literally I can control everything by saying, "Hey Google."
Oh, you can?
I can say, "Hey Google, turn the AC to 66 degrees," and boom, it does it. The only thing it doesn't do yet is like put the windows down. Although it's there to do. I mean, everything is electronic, so they could control it that way. We're going to drive down Auto Row, former Auto Row, Paulsbo.
Okay.
Viking Way.
And then let's see. We've got Adam suggests that we can do the American Pickers Taillight Edition.
Yes, that's kind of like what we were doing there. Now, here's how I learned how to drive a stick. My good friend, as a lot of you know who will watch this, Eric Schemer, who's my co-host on the other shows, and started doing comedy with him, my first comedy partner. He had a Volkswagen Rabbit, and he taught me how to drive a stick. And the reason I wanted to learn how to drive a stick was for one reason only, because I was under the impression that a DeLorean only came as a stick shift. Oh. And someday I wanted to own a DeLorean. So I said, I got to learn how to drive a stick.
Well, and you did get
I did get a
DeLorean.
Yes, and I did learn how to drive a stick. And I would like my son to learn how to drive a stick, and maybe even on this particular car.
Well, you know, there's no problem with getting in and having him go for a drive and seeing how he does with it. It does take some coordination, but you know, kids are so much more coordinated with manual things than we think, because they're doing these.
Yeah.
You know, and they're doing those simulated race car things, which sometimes have gear shifts on the side. So it's entirely possible. Now we're going down the main, or what was one of the main roads in Paulsbo that used to have the auto dealerships. There were multiple dealerships here at one time.
Right. There was Ford. There was a Chevy dealer. There was like a Suzuki or Mitsubishi dealer, I think.
And
now there's just Hudson Auto Center.
Yep.
Which is where we actually have this vehicle detailed. And we'll hopefully be filming the sitcom. And that's the only dealership on this road now.
And the reason why is because the volume that they sell no longer can justify that enormous amount of space, as the real estate values have increased out here. To have an auto mall type thing in an area like this just doesn't make sense, especially because so many people can buy what they need online.
Yes, and Adam, if you're asking about Amazon going to the car business, I think Carvana is almost an Amazon version of the car business.
Yeah,
except for the vending machine aspect.
There you go.
But I mean, Amazon has the money. Would they ever just buy out Carvana?
Possibly.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of things they get by just buying out another company. Instead of doing it themselves, it's cheaper to buy someone else.
Yeah,
and then switch it over.
Now, I noticed in this car, unlike the Polestar, there's really no place to warm your sandwich.
No, this does not have that.
That
And
is
when
a nice
I
feature.
sent our show from a few weeks ago to some people at Polestar, and that was their favorite part. Was the sandwich warmer. Like, we're going to use that in our sales pitch.
That was fun.
So this was probably an old, couple old service stations.
Yeah, they've got two service areas here.
You can't really see what we're talking about, but this used to be a car dealership.
Yep.
This up here used to be a Ford dealer. It was Courtesy Ford.
Honda was over there. Maybe they had motorcycles and additional like lawnmowers and other equipment. We still have a gas station here, but it's really more of a Subway that also has a gas
This used
station.
to be the Chevy dealership, and you can still see the Chevy logo.
Yeah,
And now it's a collision center.
yeah. That's actually a pretty good place for Italian food.
Oh, well, there you go. That's good to know.
And this was, they had farm equipment here.
Yes, and then over here was the like Suzuki or Mitsubishi dealer. You can still, well, you can't see the building anymore because it's covered. They had like the red awning.
Well, you know, Dan, all across America, the landscape has changed dramatically in places like this because it no longer makes sense to house significant amounts of inventory unless you have the volume and can do the volume and move that many vehicles. We see in some of the industry information, at one point there were anywhere between 25 and 30,000 dealerships, and the majority of those dealerships across the United States were much smaller than the ones that are out there today. Today, modern dealerships will be in areas that are where they have the outlet malls, and these areas are spread out tremendously, and you'll have virtually every brand. So you can drive up and down and shop in one centralized location and literally see thousands of cars housed in real estate where it's not so expensive to be able to inventory vehicles there.
Yeah, and now what's amazing, Bainbridge Island had several car dealerships.
Yeah.
And as small of an island as it was, you know, back in the old days, you had a car dealership, and you were basically, it was called a showroom because you'd have one of each car.
Yeah.
You'd take it on a test drive, and then you'd sit down with the guy, you'd pencil out what you wanted, you'd order it, and you'd wait for it to come from the factory. They didn't house 400 cars sitting on a lot that you could show up and buy that day. That didn't used to exist. And in 2008, when General Motors and Ford and Chrysler had big problems, they shut down a ton of dealerships. And I believe Chevy was already shut down when I moved here in 2009. I think they had already shut it down. And then Ford was just about to go down. And it did.
Yeah. And most of the areas like this, their primary volume were trucks and utility type vehicles for rural communities or working community individuals, and fewer sedans and economy cars were being sold that way. And the volume, as well as the profit margin on smaller sedans or economy vehicles is not very high, but in trucks and sport utility vehicles, much higher profit margin. So if you have a volume dealership that can move higher profit margin vehicles, that's just where you're going to put your business. And makes sense.
Yes. Now we do have a long question in there from somebody that I can't read.
Let's see if from Gary Turner. Hi guys, I doubt you remember, but I asked about the warning light on my Lexus. I bought an OBD reader to reset the codes, but when I plugged it in, there were no codes to reset. Long story short, warning light for the tires not being properly inflated is sporadically still coming on. Any ideas what to do next?
Oh, so if it's just a tire thing, those things are crap.
Yes, they are. We've had that conversation before.
I mean, you could actually, depending on where it's located, a lot of them are in the valve stem. If you replace your valve stems and then get a piece of black duct tape, a little piece, and just cover over the sticker, cover over the light, you'll never see it again.
There you go. Now you can have your tire pressure indicator modules replaced at any tire store. They will replace them for you. They're not cheap, but they will replace them, and that should solve the problem. It is a tire specialization, so even if you take it to the dealer, I think they'll job it out to a tire store to do it.
Yeah.
So it could be that one of your sensors, in case that would solve that problem. But what's interesting is that it's not appearing in the fault codes.
I don't think it will,
because it's not fault coding on the dash. The dash is actually reading accurately. So your system is working. It's most likely that the actual valve stem indicator, that there's a problem with that. And of course, the simple thing to do is to make sure you check your tire pressure and make sure that the tires are actually holding air and you may have a slow leak, which is something that will pick up because you'll have tire pressure inflated to 32, and then over time it'll go down and it won't hold that pressure. These are pretty sensitive devices. They do pick up variation in tire pressure, so it's entirely possible that there is a faulty tire pressure indicator in your valve stem.
Yeah, and I think that a lot of them you can reset, and it's not easy. Like, there's not just a button that just says, hey, click here to reset your code. A lot of it you have to, turn the radio on FM, go to 107.7, to put your left turn signal on, count to 10, pat your head 4 times, turn the car on and off 3 times, then it resets your TPI, your tire pressure indicator.
Yep.
That's not really what it is, but it's always something ridiculous like that. So find out how to reset it. Once you get the tires to the pressure you want them to be, you check them all. They're all 32 or 34, whatever you're supposed to be. Then reset your code.
Set the code.
And then it learns that that's what it's supposed to be. Yeah. Sometimes that's all you need. It's as simple as, it's the old unplug and count to 20 and plug it back in.
Yeah. So, Gary, you want to be sure that you get a tire shop to look at the tires, have them check it out, see if they can determine what's going on. Now, what's happening now is we just got on the highway, and so Dan's going 65 miles an hour now. Car is nice and smooth and quiet. It's running nice and smooth. But we are behind a vehicle that is burning oil.
Yeah.
And this is something we don't see that much anymore because most automobiles are much more efficient and don't do this. But we've got a pretty steady stream of white smoke coming out of the back of the car. And what that means is that the engine is burning the oil and not the fuel. And that white smoke means there's trouble with the engine. And it's a fairly new vehicle.
Yeah, it looks like a Honda Pilot.
2000s.
Oh no, wait, is that a Range Rover?
That would be
that might be a Range
likely. But boy, you really can't notice that.
Yeah, they've got a blown head gasket.
Now let's see here. Ray suggests, and this is Ray wants us to do the show in his Spider.
We would do that.
We're happy to do that, Ray.
Yeah, it's a Range Rover.
That is a Range Rover. So
now,
it's
one thing I forgot to mention with this vehicle that we're driving, the Saab, it's a turbo.
Oh, it's got a lot of pep.
So when the turbo kicks in, I'm in 5th gear right now. Yeah, look at that Range Rover.
Wow, and that's a fairly new one. And it's burning oil.
It is burning bad.
Yeah, that's a shame.
But if I give this a little kick, the turbo kicks in, and all of a sudden we don't get a lot of kick, but now I'm going 75.
Wow. And the car runs and tracks really smooth. New tires helps, of course.
New tires, new brakes. Like I said, this car is for sale. You can check it out on Hemmings.com.
Do we know when it goes live?
It's supposed to be the 9th, I was told.
The 9th, okay.
Which is only in a few days.
There you go. And the following, this coming week, this Saturday, I will be in Northern California at Pebble Beach.
That's right. You're judging at Pebble Beach.
I will be judging at Pebble Beach.
We heard that you were judging the pre-war Italian?
Pre-war Pininfarina
coach.
Yeah. Which is going to be a fabulous class.
So the Alante will not be there.
The Alante will not be there.
That's a post-war.
That's post-war Italian design car.
Yeah.
The Alante will not be there. It's also a gathering at Pebble Beach of former Best of Show cars. So there's going to be some magnificent automobiles there. And it will be celebrating the 70th year of Pebble Beach. 2020, of course, they had no Pebble Beach because of COVID. But there was also no Pebble Beach, I think in 1966 or 67, I'm not sure which year exactly. But it's been a pretty consistent show year after year for the past 70 years. And it's a fantastic show. It's extremely expensive, though. Unfortunately, it's now $500 to get in per person.
Wow.
But you do see some of the best and most amazing automobiles restored to a level that is absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous cars. And all the money goes to charity, the Pebble Beach charities. There's a list of them, many of them, and they do great work. And it's millions of dollars that they generate to help so many of the charities that are important to the Pebble Beach group.
Now, I told some people that you were judging at Pebble Beach, and they go, I didn't know Raffi golfed. And I didn't know golf had judges. I'm like, I don't think either of those are true.
Both of those are not true. I do not golf.
Me neither. I'd like to sometime.
I can get out and play a couple, what do they call them? Not rounds, a couple holes.
A couple rounds of golf, yes.
I can whack the ball and putt it, and I'm pretty accurate with it, but I do not generally play that game. And there, as far as I know, there are no judges in
right.
In
It's
golf.
a self-regulated game.
Yes. Hence the mulligan.
Yes. Mulligan is the judge. It's a guy named Judge Mulligan.
Mulligan. Welcome to Golf Radio.
Yes.
Boy, could you imagine how much time could we fill talking about golf?
You and I, we just filled it all.
That's it. That's
That
all
we
you
just
get.
ended it. A dork on golf. So you will be doing that next week. And next Sunday, I'm flying to Los Angeles for the week. So I guess we will not do a show, but what we will do is StreamYard, our provider of our fine stream, they have a new feature where we can just upload a previous show.
Oh, wow.
And play it. We can schedule it and we'll just run it like it's live.
Wow.
So I think what we're going to do is we're going to pick out a show from the archive that we have, which I think is the last 2 weeks. So we might basically do the Polestar show again.
That would be fun. Now, we've got John Rayford here who says, I'll be watching on the stream.
Oh, Pebble.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. And Pebble does a live stream show.
Oh.
So there's a bunch of stuff that they'll feature. And there's lots of YouTube stuff that you can watch happening as well to see what's going on with Pebble. A lot of young people come in and they shoot footage while they're walking the show. They may the best part about going to Pebble Beach as a judge is you get there early and you can see the preparation ahead of time. You can watch billionaires scurrying around worried about how their car is going to do, and the whole atmosphere for it, the build up to it, the judging event. It's a lot of fun. A lot of fun. It's really it is the best classic car show in the world.
And the actual show is Concours d'Elegance.
Concours
is that correct?
d'Elegance. Yes.
At Pebble Beach.
Yes.
Is that the official name of it?
Yes. And it's the Concours of Elegance, which means it's a parade of elegance. The idea is that the car does not have to be perfect, but it has to be elegant. So there are cars there that are beautifully restored, but there are also cars that have never been restored and they've just been properly preserved. So you'll see a wide range of cars, and the winners or the best of their class are the ones that are the most elegant. So colors, color choices, the interior, of course, the craftsmanship, and of course, the authenticity, the accuracy of the finishes and the way the car has been restored is very, very important. Usually the best show cars are at a level of excellence that is jaw-dropping.
Do you think there's a movie to be made like Rest of Show with the dog world for the car world?
Absolutely.
I mean, those people are just as crazy, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the level of, there are some great stories of people loading their car into the trailer that they're going to transport the car to Pebble Beach, and the car isn't done, and the team is still working on the car inside the trailer as they're moving down the highway.
Hysterical.
Exactly. There's stories of cars that are transported. They get halfway to where they need to go, just so they can get through the most difficult part of the transport. Then the team unloads the vehicle, continues to work on it, spends a day or two where they're located, finishing it up, loads it back up, and then it finishes the trip. So hopefully we will be at about the spot that I think we need to be when we can do Old School, and that's going to be further down the highway here. Dan, I'll let you know that on your right side of the highway there'll be a spot where we can pull off. Not yet. I'll let you know when that is.
All right.
And parked on the side of the road is going to be a very interesting vintage Toyota minivan.
Oh yes, I've seen that.
You have seen
yes.
that.
You want to stop there?
I would like to stop there, and I think that's where we're going to do Old School, because that's an interesting vehicle, and we'll have a nice chat about that particular car. So one thing about the Saab that's really nice is, what year is this Saab?
This is a 2002.
Okay.
It's technically 20 model years old.
Yeah. So a 2002 20-year-old car with 120-some thousand miles, which is actually low miles for this car. And if you look at this car, the basic design for a 20-year-old car, it's still rather contemporary today. Now we're going to see a car that's probably close to 40 years old. And when you see the design, its visual architecture is so different from anything you see today that it's interesting to look at a car with 40 years of age in difference. And that's always interesting to me from a design perspective, because design packages have changed a lot over the years, but so too have the aesthetics.
Now,
Ray's got a question here. Let's see.
we just drove through one of those radar things that told your speed. It said we were going 50, but the speedometer said we were going 54. So does that mean the miles are wrong on this car?
It could be. It could also be that you got tires that were slightly different in size from the ones that are calibrated to that. It could also be that
I think could be wrong.
The device that is tracking us is telling us we're going faster than we actually are, or slower than we are.
Yeah, that's odd for it to say we're going slower. So what does Ray have?
He's asking why Volvos from 2000 to 2012 are so bad.
Because they're Fords.
Because
right?
They were owned by Ford during that time. Well, actually, Ray, I have a 2003 Volvo, and it's been a great car. Now, we spent a fair amount of money on it when things have gone wrong, but nothing has gone horrendously wrong with it. You just have to chase them down and work on them. Many of them do need major repairs, including transmission work, which can be expensive. So that's something that you hear a lot about, is Volvos requiring $3,000 to $4,000 worth of transmission work. Sometimes on some of the 5-cylinder ones, the engines go bad, and you have a $5,000 engine repair.
I always think cylinders should be even. I think 5. There's no 7. There's no 3. Why is there a 5?
There's a 5 because you actually get a nice, smooth engine with a little bit more power. It's a nice combination, you know. There's the inline.
Just go 6.
Just go 6.
Or turbo your 4 like this.
Well, you could also put the 5-cylinder sideways, because it fits sideways inside the front of the engine compartment, and it works really well. A 6 is almost impossible to fit sideways.
True. Okay.
So the 4-cylinder, no problem. The 5-cylinder, you can fit it, and it's also nice. So a turbocharged 5-cylinder can give you a lot of extra power and performance without losing fuel efficiency.
Now, my friend has a Volvo. Her serpentine belt jumped.
Yes.
And all of her valves were bent.
Yes, that will happen.
And they want $6,600 to fix it. And
yes.
She said, should I do it? And I said, well, you're not going to get a car like yours for $6,600.
That's true.
I am shocked that there's no warranty, because I imagine you bought it certified, if I'm not mistaken, and you've only had it for a couple of years. It should still have some sort of coverage.
Now, what year is her car?
I believe it's an 18.
Oh, wow.
I think she bought it certified pre-owned, but maybe I'm wrong.
She should absolutely have it fixed. She's not going to be able to replace that car for less than that, but she should check with her warranty, see if there's something that can be done. The other thing she should do is generate a letter to Volvo and say, hey, this is a 2018 car. This isn't something that should happen. This isn't due to poor driving habits or abuse on my part, and see if there's something they can do about that. I had no idea that Volvo had a largely unknown recall of their fuel pump. So when I had my fuel pump replaced, I paid for it, paid in full. You know, I thought, okay, it's $900, not a big deal. But we're coming up on that car soon. But I sent a letter to them to let them know that it had been done, and I was surprised because I thought otherwise that the car was in pretty good shape.
There.
Oh, it's gone. Interesting. I thought it was parked there.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe somebody bought it.
Or maybe it's up here.
Or maybe it's for there. There it
Oh,
is.
it's up here.
And they sent me a refund check. They paid for it in full, which was kind of nice. So, Dan, you'll have to, and don't forget to get me out. But here's a really interesting vehicle. Very, very interesting vehicle. And we're going to take a look at this one here. Here, hold off here.
Go over here.
Yeah, that should
All right,
work.
we're going to go into the woods here for a second.
And I'll be careful not to open that door.
Yeah, I'll be right back.
Yes, and try not to bump the other tail light on.
Might
You need-
as well
bring
replace
that
both.
with you.
Oh yeah, right. Bring you guys with me. All right. So this is only the second time, maybe the first time we've ever gotten out of the car twice. We got out of the car twice in one show.
There we go. Look at it. Wallow in its visual beauty, Dan.
All right, here it is.
Welcome to old school. Here we are.
Oh wait, we should play the old school thing. Hold on a second.
Audio Jungle.
All right.
Here's the ad. That's $2,800. See ad on Craigslist. Runs, drives, needs shocks, electrical work. 209,000 miles. Radiator fan not working. Intermittently runs warm. Now let's take a look at this overall. Let's pan back so you can get absorb the beauty of this vehicle. Now, this was such an unusual car at the time when it was first designed and developed. This is one of the earlier Toyota minivans, and you can see this one is outfitted for primarily service duty. So they made them with full windows, but this is a rare model that would be worthy of restoration if somebody wanted to. Now, you've got some work to do. It doesn't have the original wheels and tires. Probably we want to remove that running board. There's a little bit of body work to do, but you can get
Hey, look, their tail light's broken.
You can get these tail lights. You can see that it's been it's somebody could potentially live in it.
Yes, there might be somebody there right now.
But this is a $2,800 vehicle. You could probably get it for less, and it would be worth getting because where are you going to see another one like this? My guess is this is an 81 or 82. It's hard to tell.
Sometimes you can tell on the tail lights.
Yeah. This is very cleverly
It's an 81.
81. Okay.
It's a 1981. It's 40 years old. Let's get the whole. There you go.
There you
Look
go.
at that.
You could really see the quality of this vehicle here. But you think I'm kidding when I tell you this is a rare car, and this car properly restored, $15,000, $20,000, no problem at all. Take a look at the front of this. That's very, very unusual, very unique. You're going to have to find a front end here that's going to work for you. But look how flat and blunt the front is. Comes down, very, very unusual. You just won't find another one like this.
And the engine's under the cab, right?
The engine is in between the two seats. Exactly. Very rare. It's an automatic. Look at that dash. This is very, very rad wood.
Wow.
So that's old school for today.
There you go. That's the coolest old school we've ever done. And then there's our old school.
There's
look at
our
that,
old
look at that tail light.
That's a beautiful tail light.
Now,
We'll get that pick.
The good thing is you do get this nice
Saab logo.
the Swedish logo.
Yes.
The Saab logo on here is brand new. We replaced that. There are the tires for it.
Which look like they're hardly ever been used.
It does have a really nice sunroof that works. And now we'll get back in the car. And we'll end our journey where we always do. Where did I put the keys?
The ignition is here.
Yeah.
Where do I put? No, there they are.
I was worried some guy was going to come out and be like, it's private property. There's a sign over there.
It does say private property.
And I'm guessing it's their car, but maybe not.
It could be. But that's a very rare car. You will not see that car anywhere else.
What is that even called? Like, does it have a name?
It's the,
Or just the Toyota van?
is it the Previa or is it the,
I think Previa was like much later.
Yeah. What did they call that one?
I guess we should check the ad on Craigslist.
Yeah, we probably can. But I can't even remember what they called that van.
I bet you could get that for $1,000.
Oh, yeah, yeah. But that is very rare because you hardly ever see the panel version. That's the rare part of that vehicle. That's what got me excited about when I first saw it. I thought, wow, I don't think I've ever seen one.
And what if we did a stick shift in that? Wouldn't that make it even more rare?
That would make it even more rare. Yes, absolutely. So it looks like we could do gas prices, but it's a little hard to do gas prices now. We did have one more question that I saw.
Oh yeah, let's bring the questions back up.
Yeah, and that was yes, the T5 Turbo. Horrendous. Horrendous. That was Ray commenting on the Volvo. We were back over on the Volvo with the 5-cylinder, the T5 Turbo. But we did have one more question, which was asked of me last, I think a couple days ago. And I thought this was a good question. Have used car prices started to come back to normal? And the answer is no. They're still crazy. Used car prices are still crazy. But little by little, I think we're going to see some relief in that arena as we get deeper into the fall. And new car prices are going to have to average out what's happening with the chip crisis is finally starting to make a little bit of headway, and new cars are being delivered. But the pre-owned car market is still very, very strong, doing very, very well for people who are selling them. But for people who are looking to buy a pre-owned car, you're going to pay a little bit more than you would have even a year or two ago.
Well, here's where the shocker was. Carvana, which had lost money every month since its inception, to the tune of like $92 million, I think they lost one quarter. They were profitable last quarter.
Wow.
Because of the car prices.
Yeah.
Because they are acquiring cars from the public, including mine. You know, I tried to sell mine, the Soul.
The Kia Soul.
The Kia Soul. I tried to sell it through Tread, the company I work for.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a Saab, hello. And I tried to sell it through other companies that buy cars, including CarMax.
Mm-hmm.
And Carvana beat everybody by $2,500.
Wow. Adam has come in to say that the Toyota van was known as the Town Ace in Japan, and in US it was known as the Toyota van. So no wonder I always called it the Toyota van.
That's what it was called.
Yeah, and again, great car. Look, that one had 209,000 miles, and other than tending to the mechanical issues, which obviously have been neglected, it probably will go another 200,000 miles. Toyota makes great product. They still do. But if you're looking for something unique, different, unusual for not a lot of money, there you go.
Yeah, I do think the prices will start to go down early next year. As the 2022 start hitting the lot, a lot of the problem is dealers can't get cars.
Yeah.
They don't have new cars because of chip shortages.
Yep.
You're going to start seeing cars show up at dealerships without whatever the chip they're waiting for does. A lot of them, believe it or not, are the radios. The HD radio, that's one of the chips they're not getting. So a lot of them are just like, you know what? Let's get an old radio.
Yeah.
And I've seen pictures of cars and trucks sitting at storage facilities, thousands of them.
Yeah.
Built and ready to go.
Yeah, and I know Ford has delivered vehicles chipless, and
Right.
they're
Just the dip.
Yeah, just the tip. They're gonna retrofit afterwards because they want them out. You know, they want them out. They gotta deliver them. They gotta get rid of them. Boy, this car does have a lot of pep.
It has a lot of pep. It works.
Hard. And if you're looking for something that's fun and plenty of room, the Wagon, great room in the back.
It's holding 4 tires right now.
Yeah.
And it's
Which
got
is
an
hard.
official, original Saab brand rubber mat in the back.
Ooh, that's important.
So the tail light will be fixed. The door, that's up to the next owner.
There you go. Now, where are we in now?
We're going to go to Jake's.
Okay.
We end at Jake's with the Sconut.
There you go. But now we're running over the hour.
Oh, we went over the hour.
Yeah.
Well, we will let everybody know we went to Jake's. If you want to find out more about the Concours d'Elegance, do they still do the Concours de Le Mans?
They do the Concours de Le Mans, which is fabulous. I love that.
And those are lemons.
They're lemons, and the whole goal of that show is you bring the worst possible car, and you hope to win worst of show, which is a great thing to do. And the judges, I've been a judge at the Concours de Lemons.
Le Mans.
Le Mans.
Le Mans. Le Mans.
At Pebble Beach, you wear certain attire. At the Le Mans Concours, you wear a Hawaiian shirt and shorts, and that's the designated attire for your judgeship. And one of the best parts about that Concours is they have an entire award for the best judge's bribe, and so
That's funny.
part of the game is to bring platters of food, various trinkets for the judges to bribe them to curry their favor to award you worst of show. Pacers have won, Gremlins have won. The year I judged, I believe a Pinto won, and some pretty amazingly bad cars win.
Is there a rule of how much money you can spend?
No, that's the race.
Ah,
Where they do a race where you have to show up with a car that you purchased for $500 or less, and then you work on it to get it drivable, runnable, and you compete in the race.
I would love to do that sometime.
We should make a plan for that.
Yes. All right. Well, that is our show for today. Again, next week will be a rerun of the Polestar episode. And the following week, we'll be back live with stories from Pebble Beach.
Yeah.
And hopefully you can get maybe some pictures and some videos while you're there. You can share.
I'll do that.
And yeah, so that's the show. We'll see you next time, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.